Have you ever noticed that your mind just doesn't stop? You try to sleep, but thoughts are racing. You're in the middle of work, and suddenly you're replaying an old conversation. You're planning your future, but instead of clarity, you feel stuck in circles. That's overthinking. Overthinking is like being trapped in a maze without an exit. It drains energy, steals peace, and makes us anxious about things that may never even happen. But here's the truth, overthinking is not who you are. It's just a pattern of the mind. And patterns can be changed. Let's begin by understanding why we overthink. Psychologists say overthinking often comes from three places. First, fear of the future, what if something goes wrong? Second, regret of the past, why did I do that? And third, the need to control, if I think more, maybe I can avoid mistakes. The brain loves certainty, but life is uncertain. And when we can't find answers, the mind loops endlessly, like a browser with too many tabs open but none of them loading. Now let's look at it spiritually. Ancient wisdom tells us that the mind is a tool, not our master. The Bhagavad Gita calls the uncontrolled mind our greatest enemy, and Buddhism calls it the monkey mind, always jumping. Spiritually, overthinking happens when we forget the present moment, when we lose touch with our inner awareness and trust in life. Think of it this way, if you hold a glass of water, it feels light at first. Hold it for 5 minutes, it's fine. Hold it for hours, your arm starts aching. Thoughts are like that glass. They only hurt when we hold them for too long. The spiritual answer is to release, to surrender, to trust that life is unfolding as it should. So how do we do it? Let's explore some practices that are both practical and spiritual. First, label your thoughts. When a thought comes, instead of drowning in it, step back and say, this is fear. This is doubt. This is memory. Labeling creates space between you and the chatter. That space gives you back your power. Second, use the 5x5 rule. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years? Suddenly, most of what you're overthinking feels much smaller than it did a moment ago. Third, anchor yourself in the breath. Overthinking lives in the head, but peace lives in the breath. Close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and feel how the mind begins to slow down. Meditation is not about forcing the mind to be empty, it's about anchoring it in the present. Fourth, surrender the need for control. Spiritually, overthinking is our attempt to become the scriptwriter of life. But life already has a script. When you find yourself spiraling, say, I trust the process. I let go of what I cannot control. This simple affirmation can untie many mental knots. Fifth, take action. Many times, overthinking is just postponed action. Instead of replaying, should I call? Should I apply? Should I ask? Just do it. Action clears the fog that thinking alone cannot. Sixth, use gratitude as a switch. When thoughts spiral, pause and write down 3 things you are grateful for right now. Gratitude shifts your energy instantly into the present moment, and overthinking cannot survive there. Seventh, practice handing things over. At night before you sleep, place your hand on your heart and say, whatever I cannot solve today, I hand over to life, to God, to the universe. This is not about religion, it is about trust. And trust quiets the restless mind. Let me share a story. There was once a monk who carried a heavy bag of stones wherever he went. People asked him, why do you carry this? He replied, because maybe I will need it. One day, exhausted, he put the bag down. And instantly he felt light and free. The monk said, this bag is my mind. The moment I dropped unnecessary thoughts, life became simple. Our overthinking is just that bag of stones. It feels heavy only until we choose to set it down. So how do we stop overthinking? Not by fighting thoughts, but by shifting our perspective. From fear to trust. From control to surrender. From endless thinking to simple action. From chatter to awareness. Remember this, the mind is a servant, not the master. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. The next time your mind runs a marathon, pause. Take a breath. Smile. And gently whisper to yourself, I choose peace over overthinking. Thank you for being here, dear soul. May you find the courage to let go, the wisdom to trust, and the peace to live fully in the present moment.